the reason people live in cities is sometimes very personal. You know somebody there. If you're an immigrant from Egypt or from Syria or from Pakistan or from Mexico, and you're thinking of making a better future for your kids, you go where the jobs are. People move to where opportunity exists, however they define that. And for some, that means moving to the country, but generally that happens later in life. And especially with today's technology-driven world, there are advantages to be had by being in close proximity with other dynamic, young, creative people. When we started Global Chicago here at the Chicago Council, it was a unique concept and had never been done before in terms of identifying the need for a catalytic mechanism that would knit together and weave together immigrant communities, especially in Chicago, which is an enormously complicated mosaic of people from all around the world.
Cities didn't just happen. These people came together in this city because they need what the city can give them and what other people can give them. We're social creatures. We need the closeness of others. We get a special kind of excitement from the experiences we live in. In cities, there is activity and change and variety. It's in the cities that people of different races and cultures live together and get to know each other.
I think the problem with globalization is that it's very different when it takes place in a developed country like the US and when it takes place in a developing country like China. I think in the kind of the rush to become a global city, especially in places like China, there isn't much regard to the environment. So a city might be concerned with bringing in a lot of industry, bringing in a lot of businesses, making it really attractive as a business model, which might mean industries come in that aren't necessarily so environmentally friendly, businesses that perhaps pollute a lot. And that can happen in these developing countries. In the developed countries, however, I think there's definitely been a shift in mindset when we talk about globalization and growth within a city, that I think people are focusing a bit more about environmental sustainability, so that if they are becoming more globalized, they're also trying to do so without harming the environment. Another issue I would think would be transportation. I mean, we drive a whole lot, just even in Chicago alone. I mean, I know people use mass transit, which in itself creates greenhouse gases, but you have to drive to get to point A to point B. And we need to find more accessible ways for people to get around without having to burn fossil fuels in the process.
It's Midwestern people, just ordinary Midwestern Americans.
It's a great city for the architecture, so like that was one of the things that really drew me to it.
The Cubs and deep dish pizza.
Yeah, cleaner. Yeah, cleaner. It's not too busy like Bangkok. Bangkok's too crazy.
As a whole, I would say our city's doing fairly well environmentally.
People are into it. People are really focused in a professional and personal way on movement and the systems by which people get around. And fundamentally, it's not just about making things work and knowing how they work, but it's about making life better and having more time with your kids and being able to walk to and from the office rather than drive and being environmentally sustainable. And when there's pretty much endless room for human capital and human creativity and a political and a social and an economic environment in the world today where opportunities abound everywhere. When people come to a city and they call it global, and they think of it as global precisely because it's got that airport where they can fly to directly from London, or directly from Istanbul, or directly from Mexico City, or directly from Cairo, what have you. That city's global. People from around the world are coming directly there.